Good morning, Northern Arizona. This is Drive Time, Northern Arizona's only live call-in radio talk show
about cars,
about anything automotive.
Give us diesel trucks,
and diesel trucks,
and RVs, and whatever else you want to play with.
Yeah, supercharged S10s. But anyway, give us a holler, 928-541-1016. That's 928-541-1016. We're here to answer any questions to the best of our ability. And, John and I have been talking for a while now and wanted to try some different things, more, not so much recalls. And, if you own a car, you got a recall. Dodge texts me constantly. You got another recall, another recall, another recall. And honestly and truly, I believe they use that as marketing to get you back in.
They do stay top of mind, don't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. But John and I and Mark and I, we all sit here and we talk after the radio show. We talk during the breaks, and our conversations are far more interesting. And
to us, they're interesting. We'll find out if the listeners think it's interesting.
Yeah, we'll find out. But John came up with an idea. Maybe we should try something a little different. And he made a little list of questions and some amazing questions. I loved it when I read your list. I started, nostalgia, going way back in the day, in the early '90s when I hit this industry. And your first one was, when did you get into the automotive / transmission world? John, when did you start this train wreck?
Well, I started helping my dad out in the garage. He had a transmission shop, and he was rebuilding transmissions. Well, a shop out of our garage.
Yeah.
And I was his R&R guy, so that's when I was about 12 to 14 is when I was doing that. Then I got in trouble. I had to go to work at a gas station. But my first official real job, I think I was about 18, and I worked for a place in Southern California called A&A Automotive, and it was a 24-hour tow truck company, and I guess that's how we got the cars to work on. They'd go find broken cars on the road and stuff. So being single and young, and this had been, late 80s, and it was fun. It was interesting to me, and I remember working on a Mercedes 300D diesel.
Wow. Had
to buy a special spline drive socket to pull the head off of it, and I learned I didn't like diesels. Yeah. They're dirty.
They're very dirty.
I'm 18. I'm trying to date, and I'm trying to go on a date, and
your hands are stained black,
nasty, and stuff like that. So,
smelling real good.
Yeah. So that wasn't a lot of fun and stuff like that. But I like getting into cars and fixing them and stuff because I, of course, had beaters myself and needed to keep them going. But yeah, that was my introductory, and throughout high school I had taken some auto shop classes. My particular high school didn't have the classes, but we'd go to another high school that did offer those classes for our special senior year type thing, and that was just so cool. I guess maybe I had a little better education, so I was smarter than some of the public school kids that were there.
Right on.
But we all had the same mentality on automotive, and it was just cool.
Yep.
Let's make them loud. Let's make them fast. Let's see what we can do and stuff. So that was the excitement for me way back in the 80s.
Dude, my first car didn't even have paint. Didn't even have primer. It was bare metal. Somebody had started stripping all the paint off and did a piss poor job. And
so that's the original
73 Ford Maverick.
Ah, okay. I thought maybe it was that Tesla truck, that bare metal type thing, the prototype.
Nothing cool like that. And that's funny though, making them loud and fast. And that's actually how I met Miss Shannon. She lived across the street, and of course, everything I have has got to be faster. And she hated me, and because I was always ripping up and down the street, and and I still remember the day. So I started out, from when I was just a kid, taking apart scooters, taking apart skateboards, taking apart bicycles, and painting them and rebuilding them, and seeing how everything worked. And it was just everybody knew when I became a mechanic, nobody was surprised. Everybody's like, "Oh, thank you." I'm telling you, my parents hated me building speaker boxes out of my dresser.
Nice.
I'm telling you, we grew up in the ghettos, but Anyway, how about you, Mark?
Well, let's go back a few decades before us. And,
yeah,
let us know what it was
when
like.
I was working on the Model T,
he was talking to Elvis.
well, my first foray into the automotive world was of necessity. We were broker than the Ten Commandments, and I married my high school sweetheart, and so we had set up shop, and she had a 1969 Buick Skylark, and later I got a 72 Buick Riviera. Remember the one that had the back window that was kind of
The boat tail style?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I worked on those because I had to.
Yep.
And I continued to go to school and got management and eventually executive jobs and didn't have to work on them anymore, whatever.
Oh, you got smart.
There you go. Well, I don't know about smart, but I got educated.
Educated, yeah.
And
I think we were sniffing
how
the
I got
cleaner.
into this business is I brought, I own an RV rental business, and I brought my RVs into Sun Valley Diesel. At the time, Don Auto owned it, and I'd bring it in and chew the fat with him, and he'd make me walk his dog or something stupid like that. And it was just before Thanksgiving of 2020. I checked one of my RVs in and make my way back to his office, and he comes out and says, "Mark, I got stage 4 cancer, and with this COVID, I can't get anywhere near you." And sure enough, he died in I think it was January of 21, and I kept doing business with him, and I kept doing business with them, and his wife Mona ran it. And
I was like, did you have a Ouija board? Is he going to be able to fix this AC?
I wish I would have had it. In September 10th of 21, I bought it from Mona, and I know now what I didn't know then, that both Mona and Don were players in World Series of Poker players.
Professional poker players, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't get the best of that negotiation. I could be wrong.
They called your bluff.
Yeah, exactly right. Because I wanted to leverage my RV rental business, and there was a couple ways to do it. Come up with a couple $100,000 and get new equipment, or add a zero and get a new business. So
there you go. So what did you work when? What was your first professional job as a technician? Can you remember?
I don't have a professional job as a technician.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
So
I got you. Dude, I was the same way though. I had to fix my cars. We couldn't. We were young and poor and kids, and there was no way. If it took me till 2:00 in the morning to fix that car to go to work the next morning at 5, so be it.
So what was the first shop that gave you a shot at playing with cars? And did you enter? Was it an entry level, like you were just the oil change tire
Absolutely.
buster? Or?
I was even worse than that. I was the mop boy, tuna masters over there on 75th and Indian School back in the day when I used to be there in Phoenix, and very quickly they moved me up to lube tech and then to tune-up tech, and I was fortunate. They had a regional trainer, Tim, and I don't remember his last name, but I will tell you that he called me about, 6 or 7 years ago, and he goes, "Hey, I'm Tim from Tuna Masters. Do you remember me?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I heard you had a transmission shop." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got this problem." And I was just like, so Tim poured into me a lot, and he was an amazing teacher, and I mean, he just was so smart, and none of the other guys would listen to him. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. This guy is sharing this information. I don't know. I was always hungry. I rocketed in my career to a master level technician. I mean, in a few years, I was just running circles around everybody.
And was that strictly transmission, or was it general automotive?
That was general. And then a friend of mine, he worked at an AMCO, pardon me, on Van Buren, 4th Avenue, Van Buren. Really good,
Lovely part of
good
town.
side of town there. And he's like, dude, we need a good engine guy. And I was like, I don't know anything about transmissions. And he's like, you're never going to touch a transmission, only engines. That was back when AMCO first started doing general repair and doing their engine exchange program. So mid-90s. And so I started there, and I started as an R&R man. And 6 months in, I hadn't touched an engine, but I fell in love with transmissions. They just made sense to me. They clicked, and that, I got you. I found my passion very early, very young. So they're cracking the whip on us, and we got a caller, Dale. Hang on, Dale. We're going to get to you as soon as we get done with this break. He's yelling at me about a break. Got to pay the sponsors. So see you guys on the other side of this break. Just a few minutes. And welcome back from those ads. Boy, you got to pay the sponsors, right? And then thank you, John. I forgot to let everybody know. So I'm Desmond with Prescott Valley Transmissions. Across from me is John Lonis from AutoWorks. You won't find jerks over there.
Not today.
Not today. He's there. Don't ask about here, though. And then we got Mark Kroll from Southwest Truck and RV. And then Louie from Prescott Tire Pros. And Tom's way down doing his thing.
He's at the ranch.
Gotta have the horsey.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So we'll get back to this conversation because I think this stuff is interesting when we talk about this kind of what got us into this and stuff. But we got Dale. Dale is on the phone. He's got an automotive question or two. What's going on, Dale?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I
Nice.
try to listen to you guys
Awesome.
every week. I've got a problem with, well, let's see, how can I explain it? Well, I had my transmission. I'm not going to mention any names of any shops,
Okay.
but right at this point. I took my truck in to get the transmission replaced end of December. At the end of January, I had to have it towed home again, but it was grinding and making a real bad noise every time I tried to start it. Well, the same shop replaced the starter, and they diagnosed it, but they couldn't figure that out. They replaced something that didn't need to be replaced. And now I've got it to another shop. We've put in two different starters from anyway, two different starters now, and it's still doing the grinding noise.
Okay.
We think we've got it diagnosed now to a certain problem, but when they did the transmission, they asked me if I wanted to upgrade to better or pay more for a upgraded torque converter like the one I did have on the truck. No, I said, just give me the regular torque converter. Well, there's power going to the starter, and the solenoid's okay. There's no wiring problems. All we can figure out is the flywheel or flex plate.
Yes, I agree.
What do you guys think?
It sounds like it to me. If the starter is spinning, the starter has teeth on it that pops out and engages into teeth that are welded to the flex plate. So if you're getting grinding and stuff, it sounds like your flex plate broke. So upgraded converter, starter problems, I'm going to assume that you have a Dodge, maybe a diesel?
GMC.
GMC. So you got the Allison. That's a fun one to pull out. It's, I think it's like 12 hours of labor to pull one of those things out. But
it's a one-ton four-wheel drive 86.
Yeah. 1986?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Those should be
That should be a Turbo 400.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me say about the flywheel. There's no damage that you can see to the teeth.
Okay.
But what I'm wondering,
correctly?
Could the flywheel or flex plate been damaged or bent when they're trying to put something back together, and if they didn't get the torque converter, everything seated right?
Well, if they didn't get the converter seated correctly, you would have already quit moving. The torque converter has to spline into the pump gears, and if they didn't have and that's the last little click of it going all the way in. And if they tried to start it up, it would have just sat there and ground the pump up, and you wouldn't move. But so being in 86 with the diesel, so that you got the Turbo 400, that should have a cover that's removable, and you should be able to inspect the teeth on your flywheel really easily.
Yeah. We can.
And you can also start it. Does it start anymore or no?
If you want to, it'll maybe every third try, or maybe it's down to every second try now. But what I'm wondering, could they have bent the flex plate?
Well, that's what I was going to tell you.
Yes, sir.
So you can, with that inspection cover off, you can start it up and just look.
Lay underneath there and watch it with that big cover off. That way you can get a bigger view of that flex plate and converter.
Yep. Yeah. You'll see it spinning, and an eighth of an inch is normal. They flex. That's why they're called a flex plate. More than an eighth of an inch, there's a problem. So now I'm wondering, so if the teeth aren't damaged on the flywheel, I have to think shim. Is the starter shimmed correctly?
Okay, let me, can I say,
sure.
say on that, it started to damage the teeth in one spot on the flywheel.
Okay.
But the starter has been shimmed out all the way to about a quarter inch of shims, and it's starting to engage. A quarter inch of shims shouldn't take that many shims.
No, it should not. When we shim a starter, what are we talking, John? 20 thousandths, maybe?
Yeah, 20, 30 thousandths maybe.
Yeah, right.
thickness of the shims.
And the easiest way to do it is to take a 1/8" drill bit and put it between the starter, the rod that is on the starter and the flex plate, and then you got perfect clearance. What do you think about this, John? I'm thinking that something is going on that we're not aware of.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe we should see this car.
Yeah, I mean, if the original repairing shop doesn't want to look at it or take care of it.
Well, I don't trust them now.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
I got you.
I mean, bring it to another shop. Ask your neighbors, or
And,
bring it to
and
one of us.
I've done it at another shop, and this is what they're finding.
I got you.
And
So
they put a couple of starters in, and they're still grinding.
Still doing the same thing.
Have they done a voltage drop test and a load test on that starter to make sure? I mean,
Yes.
you can see that you have good cables and you have 12 volts, but are you still carrying 12 volts while cranking, or is it dropping down to 8 volts while cranking? And low voltage will, aggravate it and not want it to play. And you're talking 3 different starters. There's something that's being missed because
Something is wrong.
it can't be doing the same exact thing through 3 different starters.
no,
Yeah, it's
they're
not-
missing
Well,
something.
Why couldn't the flex plate be causing the problem?
It could be, absolutely.
Okay.
Or did they mismatch? Has that flex plate been changed at some point in time, and now we have a mismatched starter and
They
flex
didn't
plate?
change the flex plate on this go around on the transmission. I know that.
Okay. I hate to say this, but I mean, to diagnose this one over the air, it's ridiculous. You can bring it
I
to
know,
my
I
shop.
know.
We don't even charge to look at them and at least get a good idea. And I will also say this, Dale. Not every shop is capable of every repair. Just
okay.
yesterday, I had we have a fellow that has a Nissan Skyline that he put a big giant turbo on and a little race car, and he wanted us to build the transmission, and it's like, absolutely not. We do not build high performance transmissions. Get it out of here. Good luck. I apologize, but so we all have our specialties, and every shop is different. And it's going to sound terrible, but my guys are not. I don't let many classic cars in because my guys don't know the old 50s and 60s technology. I have a bunch of young kids, but ask them a computer question. They'll know anything about that.
This is not an old car. It's only an
No.
86.
No, I get you. I get you, Dale. But personally, I'll tell you, bring it over to my shop. I don't charge to look at them and at least get a third set of eyes on it. And maybe from somebody that's just been in this industry their entire life.
Yeah.
And if I can't figure it out, John can figure it out. And then Mark will bring him over to make funny noises.
Well, he's already figured out my diesel, so I
Nice.
know
Isn't
that.
he a good guy?
That's what I was
I
saying.
like
He
Mark.
does the diesel. Des does the transmissions. Give me the gravy stuff.
Yep.
I'll do the oil changes and brakes.
Yeah.
I just, would it be unreasonable to have the shop where I'm at now to replace the flywheel?
It is not unreasonable, but I'm going to caution you again. You're starting to play. You're starting to play Swaptronics. That's what we call it. And throwing parts at a car usually just gets very expensive, very frustrating. Get another opinion. And it doesn't matter, even if it's at my shop right now. I don't know. Go somewhere else. Get another opinion. Throwing parts at a car is rarely a good idea.
You guys are cutting out. I don't know whether it's my phone or not, but
Sounds windy.
Sounds
sounds
windy.
like it's on your end, but we appreciate you.
But I
Dale.
don't know. I mean, Mark over here, he's full of hot air, so it could be his wind too.
Well, I appreciate you, Dale, for calling in. Give us a holler. He's holding up the brake sign again. He's cracking the whip on us. We got to go to break. So see you on the other side.
Thank you for calling.
No problem, Dale. Give us a holler over there. Okay, we'll see you folks on the other side of the break. Thank you. And welcome back from that round of breaks. That was your commercial on there, John. So, that's really frustrating, isn't it, when you hear stories like that?
Yeah.
And the one thing I got to say, and I got to caution everybody, we are not doctors. We don't get to practice and keep charging you. It's weird because we are thought of as the scum of the world, mechanics. We rip everybody off because we do something that they think should be easy. But, I mean, you're finding out that it's not.
It's not easy.
And they want to negotiate the price on you, too.
Yes. And
It's
when's the
like,
last
come
time
on,
you went to your
didn't take you that
doctor to do that? But, and I will tell you, so, well, while we're talking about this, did you go to any special training? How did you get started in this? Did you go to UTI or what did you do?
No, like I said, my dad got me started playing with the transmission side of things, and then in high school I did some auto shop classes for a couple of years, and that was fun. But yeah, I guess it was School of Hard Knocks was the main majority thing.
Absolutely.
I tried going to college, but like my high school counselor said, you're either going to go into the Army or you're going to be a mechanic. Don't waste your parents' money going to college. So
That's the stigma that I feel like we gotta get past.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say, after 30-some years in this industry, I have over $300,000 of tools, my personal tools, my wall of toolbox.
Well, I guess you can say that because your wife works with you, so she knows. She probably writes the check.
Yeah, I have to say, yeah.
I'm not going to announce
She
that
didn't say
kind of
300.
I will
She
say-
said 298,646 approximately.
So
still have to
here's a funny but true story. So I had a Razor and 2-seater, and we wanted a 4-seater, and we had talked about a 4-seater. And one day I was over with my grandson, and he really liked my Can-Am. It was sitting there in the showroom. He's like, "Papa, we should get this one." And I was like, "Okay." And I said, "Let's ask your grandma." And I said, "Hey, Braden wants this." I sent her a text. Braden wants this.
My
Can-Am.
grandson wants a 4-door
Yeah.
Can-Am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And-
only 28,000.
Oh, no.
It was 40.
40?
Yeah. So she was like, well, she goes, "That's nice." And I was like, well, that wasn't no. So I traded in my Razor and I bought that. And, of course, I gave her the wife price. And then, so everything was fine for a few months. And then she came to work for me where the bill was set. That was a bad day.
Oops.
She came out with the bill. "So you only owe 15, huh?" It's like,
Yeah.
well, so you didn't do formal training. I'm the same way. So here's a funny story. I also worked at my grandfather's Conoco doing oil changes in the very, 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 very beginning. And when electronic ignition came out, he said, "That's it, I'm done," and retired and sold. So you remember when HEI came out?
Oh,
What
yeah.
was that, the early 70s?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was.
But anyway, so my 73 Ford Maverick, and I start hearing this knocking noise, deep, hollow, loud knocking noise. And I go up to my dad and I go, "Dad, man, my car's making a funny sound." And so we go out there and listen to it, and he goes, "Oh, that's a rod knock." And I was like, "Okay, what do we do?" And he goes, "Go get your Chilton's." And so I went and got my Chilton's book, and he goes, "Open it up to the engine section." And we opened it up to the engine section, and he goes, "Okay, you're going to rebuild your engine. Good luck." And he walked away. And so needless to say, that car never ran again. But
Wow.
I was hooked. I had that thing apart. And I loved it. I loved it.
My wife did go to school. She actually got a student loan and went to ATI, or I think it's Automotive Training Institute down there in Phoenix, to do transmissions. And so that was back in the late 80s. And so she's got her book still. And how she was all great at rebuilding the rear-wheel drive automatic transmissions. And she
No
actually
shit.
made the cover of their brochure to brag about their school and stuff. But transmissions way more than she does. So I think that's why she didn't really get fully into it. And she got
I was going to
smart.
say, give me your number. I'll call her, see if she wants a job. We'll start training her
She's
up.
no, it would be all the old school stuff, the pre-computer stuff.
You
So.
could use that book from the late 80s and look at Dale's transmission, though, right? He's
Yeah.
got what did he say? It was an 86? So
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
that-
yeah.
But that's the crazy thing. So we're all about the same age. Well, Mark's way older than us, but don't take any offense
Yeah,
to
we
that.
gotta have Grandpa here.
But I saw a thing.
I don't know about way older.
20 years ago. What do you think? Instantly, you jump to the 80s. Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, that's
Yeah, that's 40 years ago now, and it's like, wow, that's not nice.
It's sad listening to my songs, and it's actually on the classic radio station.
Yes,
But
and my grandson tells me about my old truck because it's a 2001. It ain't that old, you little.
But
So
no, I mean, schooling is good, and there is
Yes.
some school out there. I mean, there's, I've had a couple of employees, and one of my current staff members that's been with me for 15 years, he taught down at UTI, the drivability side of things. So
Yep.
now he did
Mark
notice
is
that
sharp.
school has changed from whenever he did schooling to where he was teaching 10 years ago. He says, wow, the schools now are really all about the money. They really just shuffle the kids right on through. It doesn't have the quality of teaching skills that they used to have
That
back
sucks.
in the day.
Yeah,
And the
We've
price
hired
has
a
gone
couple
up.
people that, based on their education and resume, we should be able to park the truck next to their resume, and a couple hours later it should be
Be
fixed.
fixed, yeah.
And they don't. They're not as advertised. And
No.
what I found out from talking with a handful of these guys is there's not as much hands-on as it might have been when you went to school or when
Right.
you learned.
Right.
It's a lot more theoretical and a lot less practical.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we had fun. I mean, back in the high school days and stuff like that, it was Mechanic Maniac. You know, that was our top award for the month, and for your best
Nice.
grades and stuff like that. But we were able to make our own little demo kits and stuff. And I liked making one. I took an Optima battery, cut the top off, and put, what was it, 6? Yes,
Wow.
6 of the D-cell batteries in it. And then we used it as a test thing. I threw a bunch of sand in there so it weighed like a battery. And it shows 12 volts, but it couldn't do anything.
Wow.
It had no amperage behind it, stuff like that. So that was fun. We just made all kinds of things, and we cut open oil filters to see what the media was like inside and stuff. But back then, it got the student involved. We
Mhm.
were there with die grinders and torches and stuff, and so it made us happy. But nowadays, schooling is more books, classroom, looking at this. And, I mean, I'm glad they're teaching the computer side of the stuff and programming because I don't know how to do that.
Yep. And that makes me wish I'd have stayed in school when I was young. I actually dropped out in the beginning of 9th grade. I made it through my first semester of 9th grade, and I was done. And I was working off in life. School just wasn't my
Yep.
thing.
Nope.
But I will tell you, so continuing on education, we're going to seminars all the time. We're going to Tennessee for business classes. I can tell you that today I dive deep into education. But man, he's yelling at us again for another break.
We gotta
Man,
get
we
more sponsors.
we finally get the conversation going good, and he's like, break. So give us a holler, 928-541-1016, 928-541-1016, and we'll try to help you out with your questions. We'll see you on the other side of this break. welcome back, guys. That was cool. That was your commercial there, Mark.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
that
it
was-
was.
So we gotta pay the sponsors for.
I get paid?
Tom.
Sometimes.
Tom yells at me.
Yeah, Tom forgot to bring the checks up today.
Yeah.
So we gotta wait till next week.
Yeah, wait till next week. So we got John Lonis from AutoWorks. We got Mark Kroll, Southwest Truck and RV, and I'm Desmond Creighton with Prescott Valley Transmissions. Louis Gomez with Prescott Tire Pros. And so we were talking in the break, talking about training and schooling and all that good stuff. And
Yeah, kind of a segue on from the education for the students to get into the field. As business owners, what have you guys done to get training and coach yourself? Because from my experience and now learning and coaching and hearing from coaches, technicians make the worst business owners.
absolutely.
We
Oh,
are
my
the
goodness.
worst.
So I got to tell you, true story, gospel true story. So, I used to have Terry, my former business partner, and he was an amazing man. He changed my life. He brought me up. He gave me my opportunity. And so I never speak ill of Terry, ever. But when he retired, I didn't even know how to make a price. I was just quoting out what he had quoted out. And I had no idea how to do taxes. I had no idea how to do the books. I had no idea where these numbers came from. And that was shocking to me. And then I brought Miss Shannon in, and, she...
Women are better organized.
Absolutely.
That's the polite way to put it.
Yeah, so they don't let me up front anymore because I'll give away the shop because I don't know what stuff costs. But anyway, so you, John, actually turned me on to coaching. And I never realized that there was such a thing, if you can believe that or not, that there was coaching to learn how to run a business.
Yeah.
And then it sucks because Aaron just died. We talked about that last week a little bit. Aaron Stokes had a plane accident.
Yeah.
But he had started Shop Fix Academy, largest
Pretty large coaching company, yeah.
I think it was the largest. I heard that thrown around a few times.
I mean, we like to believe it. I don't know because there's a lot of other companies that have been out there too.
He must be pretty big. He was north of 1,500 shops.
Yeah.
2,000 people.
Yeah.
They're expecting 2,000 people at the end of this month, or March 30th. You're
Yeah.
going to go to his memorial, aren't you?
Yep. Still debating if I'm flying or driving.
Fly.
I don't know about flying.
Ride with me. You won't even have to pay for a plane. Or
Maybe we'll
for
get one of my RVs involved.
Hey, there we go. Yeah.
no.
That'll work. So Mark was the smart one. So he actually had the business sense or some executive skills, you were saying.
Well, I got a graduate degree in MBA and a concentration in finance. And so I knew the numbers part of it, maybe, and I've started a couple other businesses, so I knew some of the business acumen. And I'm thinking, how hard could it be to run a shop? Come on.
Because we're just grease monkeys.
Yeah, you'd be grease monkeys. I mean,
So how is it, Mark?
there's no way I could explain how hard it is.
Absolutely.
So, and how I got turned on, I went over to Desmond's place one day, and he shows me a Shop Fix video, and it was like, oh my Lord, this is it. Mm-hmm. And I signed on and learned that, and
The oil change video.
yeah, and that's so simple but so powerful at the same time. And also, I was able to hire some good employees
Absolutely.
and deal with some that weren't quite
With
as
the existing
good.
ones, right.
And I had part of that education too in the real world because in my management positions, I hired and fired and evaluated whatever. So I think I've been kind of blessed in the sense that I know the theoretical stuff about how to do business and some of the people management stuff. And lately I've been able to add the pieces of some really good technical know-how in the actual repairing the business, and in the front end, we got a guy running at the front end that has 30-some years experience doing that and training people how to do service advising. So I'm really pleased with the staff.
So it's refreshing to hear that. It's refreshing to hear that, as I stated, being a technician, trying to be a business owner, as a technician, oh man, they're making all kinds of money, blah, 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 until we do it. And it's nice to hear that a business guy, how hard can an auto shop be? And it was shocking to you too to see the other side of things. So,
well, that's what they talk about all the time. Everybody thinks, and the world looks at it and say we do $100,000 a month. They think it maybe costs $10,000 for parts and labor, and we put $90 in our pocket. And it's like, it's the other way. If we're running really good, it's the other way.
Yeah, if you're running really good, yeah.
I mean, being quite blunt, we've had some issues in the last 2 months. I haven't made a single penny. I've more lost 25,000 ish, and it's part of the game. You're up, you're down, but I tell you, ShopFix was amazing.
And their motto, what got me going with them was, Aaron's motto was "Fix the owner, fix the shop."
Yep.
And you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, and
Dude, you got to be kidding me. Break again?
Well, I'll just
we're going to talk over this
one quick
break.
comment. In that connection, what I learned, how to run the finances and how to look at a P&L at an auto shop was different than corporate financing when I was. It was so different. It was night and day. And I finally got to the point where what I knew was no longer an obstacle to what I could learn. I had to get my ego out of the way and say,
Absolutely.
this is, who cares if I have an MBA? It doesn't matter. The car don't care. My customers don't care. My employees don't care. This is how to manage a P&L and the finances of an auto shop.
And so coming from an automotive background, so an MBA, that's my bad attitude? Is that what you...
That's what I was wondering, too. I was like, what does that mean?
In your case, Masters of Business Administration.
Wow.
I still got a lot of coaching to do.
Yeah, me too. I dropped out of school way too early, apparently. Okay, so he's yelling at us again for another break, folks. I apologize. It's them. It's not me. But so give us a holler, 928-541-1016. That's 928-541-1016. We'll try to help you with any questions you have, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. And we're back. Awesome.
Back.
Telling you.
But not for long.
Yeah, that was the last break, apparently. So we're already out of time, John. I got to say, I love this idea, this format.
This is the fastest hour of
Yes.
automotive talk radio.
I'm telling you,
today.
we're tearing it up.
You don't know how to operate the sound effects? I thought you were a high-tech guy.
Yes.
No,
I dropped out of high
we
school.
just learned what MBA stood for.
I'm the only one that can do sound effects, but I don't know how to do anything.
We'll have to put the tablet
Hang
next to
on,
him next
hang
week.
on 1 second. I found one.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
You are
But-
trainable.
I am trainable, but hey, you teach a monkey. Here's your banana. So the reality, the reality, folks, is this is not an easy job, and nothing. We wished everything would go correctly. We try our best. We use good quality parts. We hire the best people that we can find. We send them through continuing education. We are continuing our education. We're all growing. We're all exploring. We're all learning, and trying to get better. And maybe we save this for next week, but customers got a role to play too. We have to do what's right. We have to treat our customers fairly. They have to do what's right, treat us fairly. And I've been blessed with some amazing customers throughout the years that when you do have a problem, let's work together. Let's solve this. Unfortunately, that's rare. But we were talking about training. So
Oh,
you're going to go back to Tennessee for Aaron's Memorial, and then there's another conference.
Yep.
And that's where we learn things like how to serve our customers better, how to serve our employees better. What about you, Mark? Are you gonna go back?
Probably. I got some potential conflict that I may resolve, but the short answer is probably.
Well, then just loan us the motorhome. If you're in it, okay, you can go. If not, then at least we got a hotel to stay in because hotels are going fast back there.
Yeah, they are. So I'm going to encourage you guys. We've really had a fun. We were talking during the break. We've really had a blast talking about this stuff. And, I mean, if you want to know about a recall on your vehicle, please give us a holler, 928-541-1016, or call Tom on his cell phone. I don't know the number off the top of my head. It's Tom. Myself.
I'll get the number.
I know the last four digits is 3131. I think
Yeah,
it's
you can give him a
773 or
call
something
at
like
2 o'clock in the morning. It's all good.
I know it's in the third stall at the Home Depot bathroom.
But I would like to continue with this format, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, yay or nay. But, I mean, I really had a good time. We just barely touched on the list of questions you had on page 1.
Oh, yeah. And I'd like to hear from our listeners. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you respect your mechanic? What do you guys think about your mechanic? You know, from when you guys first started driving to what mechanics are doing nowadays. So have we changed? Have we improved ourselves in your eyes?
Hopefully.
Let us know what you guys think
And what
about.
can we do?
And it's not either or. We can certainly mix in conversations about what you want and take phone calls and encourage that.
So we're running out of time. John, you want to say goodbye to the folks?
See you guys next week. Or actually, next week it's the Girl Show.
Oh, yeah, next week, Girl Show.
So call in and have fun. They have donuts and croissants that they bring in, and they're flavored.
I might accidentally show up.
Yeah, me too. I'll talk to you guys later.